Okay, thank you everybody for joining us today. We've talked about this several times about international scholarships, and we have an expert here with us today. This is Jim Smith, and he is the Director of International Admissions for High Point University. And for those of you who don't know where High Point is, it's in North Carolina, and it's an absolutely stunning, beautiful campus. And he's going to talk a lot more about that. So he's going to talk about High Point and international students at High Point and scholarships there. And then he's going to talk about international scholarships as a whole outside of High Point, which will help students also. And then we're going to probably let him talk for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to open it up to you to answer or to ask specific questions to him. So if we can give him our attention. And Jim, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with our students today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And thank you so very much for this opportunity. It's so exciting to talk about High Point University and to share the information about scholarships with your students today. Let me start, because we have just a short time. I just want to give you an overview of High Point, and then I'm going to jump through some slides here quickly to give you an idea a little bit about our scholarships, and then we'll talk in general about scholarships that are available for international students. First of all, let me tell you quickly, High Point University, founded in 1924, is a small, private, liberal arts university. We're located, as Linda said, in North Carolina, about the central part of North Carolina. So we're about halfway between New York State and Florida State on the East Coast. And there's a quick view of North Carolina, the state itself. We have our mission statement, and at High Point University, we believe that every student should receive an extraordinary education, not just a good, but an extraordinary education, and what kind of environment, in an inspiring environment with caring people. So that's very important to us that we follow through with that. And we have 4 areas that we call our pillars of academic success. And it's academic excellence, experiential learning, 4-year development in life skills, and then the modeling values and building character here at High Point University. Most of our faculty members have their terminal degrees. We have a ratio of 15 to 1. We average only 17 students per class at High Point University, so very small class, which allows for a lot of interaction and a lot of opportunity for you to communicate with your professor as well as with your classmates here. At High Point University, it's interesting that our top major is undeclared. A lot of our students come to us not knowing exactly what they want to do. Our most popular is business, and then there's biology, exercise science, psychology, and then the rest of our top freshman majors. We have a program we call Project Discovery, which was set up a number of years ago when we realized that most of our students coming to us were undeclared, did not know for sure what they wanted to do. So we set up this Project Discovery to discover exactly what it is that they have a passion for, what it is that excites them, what it is that they enjoy doing, and relate that with them and blend that with their skills and talents to help them find the career path that they want to follow. We've been very successful with that, in the fact that 97% of our graduates, 97% within 6 months, either have a job or in grad school. Now, a lot of our international students do go to grad school, and 87% get their first choice, 87%, which is a great number. Here are some pictures of our campus, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. It's absolutely incredibly beautiful. It's ranked in the top 10 as one of the most aesthetically pleasing and beautiful campuses in the United States. So we're very pleased with that. About 5,300 students attend High Point University. That includes our graduate students. It's all 50 states and 37 different countries. Our international population is about 200 students here at High Point. About 80% of our students come from out of state. So there's only about 20% of our students from North Carolina. We have over 100 clubs, and we are a Division I school, so a lot of our students are able to participate in sports. Our dorms are absolutely incredible. By niche, they are ranked #1 in the United States, and Princeton Review ranks them as high as 7 in the United States. So they're absolutely incredible, beautiful dorms. And that is on purpose because we want you to be in a place where you're comfortable. This is your home for 4 years, and we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to want to go back to your dormitory and enjoy your time there. When I was in school, I literally had what appeared to be a cell. I mean, it was incredible. It's almost like a dungeon with cinder block walls and that. It was not very pleasant. Very seldom that I go back as a result of that. Our faculty are extraordinary individuals. They come from all different walks of life and all different universities. As you can see by this picture here, we have some professors that have left places such as Yale, Stanford, Harvard, Columbia, Duke, UNC Chapel Hill, MIT, to come to High Point University to teach. That will give you just an indication of what kind of opportunity you will have here at High Point, because all of your classes are going to be taught by professors. We do not use teaching assistants nor graduate students as part of that program. I did not have a professor in my school when I went to college until my sophomore year. A couple of other things that are really fun to know: 93% of all of our students live on our campus all 4 years. 99% of our freshmen live on our campus in their first year. We're ranked very high as far as having one of the best food programs, and your meals are incredibly good here. We have 15, 16 different places to eat. We even have a 5-star restaurant on our campus. No other university in the United States has a 5-star restaurant sitting in the middle of their campus that you are able to utilize as part of your meal plan. If you want to go home, you need a ride to the airport, High Point will provide you a ride to and from the airport. Again, I don't know of another university that provides that kind of opportunity for you. The application, we use a common app, and your teachers and counselors will help you with that. We have about 11,000 applications every year, and we'll accept about 1,400 freshmen. When the SAT is available, we average at 1239. If the ACT is available, about 26. Our average, these are averages, they're not minimums, but averages. Our average unweight is 3.4, and our average weight is 3.91. Now we have the process of going through the application. We look for your personal statement. We're looking at a holistic view of the student. So we want to know what you've done in class. We also want to know what you've done outside of class. We want to look at your class and course rigor. Did you take IB courses? Did you take AP courses? Those kinds of things. Do you take honors? We ask for 2 letters of recommendation. We'll also look for a school report form, which your counselors will fill out and provide for us. SAT and ACT scores are not necessary at High Point University because we've been test optional for a number of years now. But what we've done this year, because of the issue with the pandemic and trying to get to SAT and ACT, you don't even have to take that. We are not even going to utilize it as we have in the past to determine your merit scholarships, which we're going to talk about here very soon. But today you do not have to do that. We have developed a system we call a index, which is a mathematical formula that has been developed by High Point, and we've used it for a number of years. It's just not brand new. We've used it for as long as I've been here, and I've been here 5 years. And it is an index that we utilize that we're going to incorporate using instead of the SAT or ACT to determine your merit scholarships. In the past, it's been based on your grades, and your SAT or ACT, the higher they are, the more money you get. But your index is also an indicator of that, and so we're going to utilize that. We have basically 3 different application decision processes. Early decision, which is binding. About 35% of our students do early decision. Early action, which is non-binding, and that's about 55%. So about 90% of our students do one of those 2 decision processes, and then regular decision is the last one, about 10%. So what happens if you do early decision? You get obviously less stressed because you get an answer back to you if you get everything in by November 1st, you get an answer by the end of November. You also get an opportunity to have priority in housing. You get to move in first. You are guaranteed a parking space. Those international students who come to us, many of them bring, or buy a car when they're here. They get a guaranteed parking space. You get to move in early. You get to move in before anybody else does. You also get preferred class schedule. You get all those kinds of things are going to be part of what you're going to get if you decide to do early decision, again, which is binding. You're going to start working with a group of people we call success coaches. These are full-time adults with masters and PhDs whose sole responsibility is to work with you as a student to help you find and discover. Remember we talked about that Project Discovery? Are there to help you to discover what it is you have a passion for and blend that together with what you have skills for to be able to determine what major you should be in and ultimately what your career path will be. So you get to start working with those people in December, which is a great advantage for you. You're going to have an opportunity to attend a life skills and leadership luncheon when you get here on campus. And that'll be an opportunity to meet with some of the leaders that come from the industry world to come and work with us. Steve Wozniak, one of the founders of Apple Corporation, will come to that luncheon. Mark Randolph, the gentleman who is the co-founder of Netflix, comes to our campus. Byron Pitts, who is our entrepreneur on not entrepreneur, but our news person on campus will come, and he's part of our program. So you get the chance to meet all those people during that luncheon. You also get a chance to be a part of a learning excellence educational consulting time. It is a time when you're going to have a chance to really learn about how to study properly. Some of the things you're going to need for being able to be successful in the classroom and out of the classroom. And these are all things that are given to you that nobody else has a chance to be part of. At High Point University, for our international students, we offer merit scholarships. And you're going to find that when I get to the part about talking about in scholarships in general, you're going to find that nearly every university, and I don't know of one, but I never want to say all, but all the universities that I'm familiar with offer merit scholarships to their international students. And they all do it based upon some criteria of grades and either test scores or some other criteria. Here at High Point University, we have our presidential scholarships, and they're have been based upon grades and SAT or ACT test scores. Now we're going to utilize that index that I talked about a while ago. Now, some students will be able to take an SAT or ACT, and that's great. That's fine. It's not required this year because of the situation with the pandemic. So this just gives you a list of some of the different presidential scholarships that are available for a student, an international student as well as our domestic students. The interesting thing about this, if you qualify for a presidential scholarship, you will be invited to campus. Especially if you're here in the United States, you can come to campus in February and actually increase that amount of your presidential scholarship through an interview process. And that interview can range from anywhere from $0 to another $10,000 added to your scholarship. So a lot of opportunity here at High Point to really get some great help with your scholarships. In the past, we've had a scholarship for those students who did not take SAT or ACT, but this will be actually not even considered this year because we're using that index, and everybody that applies to High Point is on an index. Another great part of High Point that we offer is our fellowships. Those of you who qualify for honors, you will be able to receive an additional $3,000 for each one of these. You can only select one. You can't do all of them, but you can select one and participate in it. The Honor Scholar, again, as you can see by our slide, are asking for SAT and ACT test scores. Those are not going to be utilized this year. Again, they're coming up with their own system. They're probably going to use our index and be able to utilize that and help students get into that program. But there are a number of different fellowships for you to participate in. And again, all of these will give you $3,000 stipend. And these are continual every year as long as you keep your grades up and are able to participate in that. As I mentioned earlier, about 97% of our students after 6 months of graduating, either have a job or in grad school. Of those who go to grad school, 87% get their first choice. And I think the national average last time I looked was right around 60 to 63% of students getting their first choice. Okay. All righty. And I'm back to our mission statement, and there's that. And just a couple of quick things. Once we're done here, if you will send me an email, I will send you a application fee waiver. And Linda, I can provide that code for you, and you can share it with all the students. That's not a problem at all. Also, this year, those freshman students who enter in the fall of 2021 will be eligible for a tuition-free master's degree in business communication and leadership. Okay, tuition-free. They have to qualify for it, but they are all eligible to receive a tuition-free master's degree in business communication and leadership. Again, pretty unique opportunity here at High Point University. Okay, and here is my contact information, and I will certainly provide that to Linda and Mary and her colleagues there. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about scholarships. As we'll find in any university, most of them, as I mentioned, will offer merit scholarships. And again, these are usually based upon your grades and some test scores or some other criteria they'll make that decision upon. And they can range from 0 to some, as at High Point, to a full tuition scholarship. Alrighty. Then there's also what we call need-based scholarships. A lot of universities in the United States are now offering need-based scholarships for our international students, and it is something that you will need to find out as you start doing your research to choose the right college for yourself, the right university for yourself. You will need to check on those. Obviously, that many of the universities offer athletic scholarships, and if you are athletes and would like to participate, and that's all the way from junior colleges all the way through Division II, Division III, and all the way up through Division I. So there's some real opportunities for you, and of course your counselors can help you with that too. Many universities have very specific scholarships for a specific group of people, maybe from a different country that they do not have represented on their campus. So they will offer a scholarship to that specific group. And those are available, and you have to, again, a lot of times you have to just check those out and find out where those are at. Loans are available. Loans are something that you really do not want to get into if you can help it, but they certainly are available if that's what you have to do to make it through college. A lot of people take out loans to be able to afford college, and it is available for international students. We do have loans here at High Point, for example, for international students. Then you can certainly take out a loan if that's something that will help you to get through your undergraduate program. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the private and public scholarships and funding. Again, Linda, I can provide this information to you so you can share it with your students, but these are some links to some private and public scholarships and funding that's available. For example, the Leo Rowe one is that's specific for Latin American or Caribbean students. Obviously, Fulbright is generally for graduate students, but it's also there's some opportunities there. The Rotary International, the Rotary Club offers scholarships, and what you'll find is a lot of these scholarships are small amounts, but you can do is you can add to them and find out other scholarships. Maybe there's $1,000 here and $1,000 there, or maybe $2,000. You can combine the two so you can build on your scholarship. So, and these are things you need to want to get onto. And so there again, there's just a whole list of different scholarships that are available for different students. I have there's that list there. There's this list here. I have multiple lists here that I can share with you, Linda, of different scholarships. And the bottom line is the students are going to have to dig. They're going to have to research. They're going to have to go in there because there are so many different ones. It would be very difficult for me to try and go through each one of them and to give them direction because they're so different. But the opportunity is there, but they have to going to have to do a little digging, and they're going to have to do a little research. But there are opportunities, and that's what the wonderful thing about it is you can still get a scholarship and be able to stay in the United States and attend a university. I hope this has been helpful. I hope that you'll be able to look at this and find some answers to questions you might have and be able to to attend a U.S. university. I'm here at any time, even after we're done discussing here and answering questions. I'm here for you anytime to help you, and please don't hesitate, even if you find that High Point may not be the correct school for you, because no university is perfect for everyone. But if I can help you, I am here to do that. My whole goal in being a part of this university is to help young people achieve their opportunities to receive an education in the United States.
Thank you so much, Jim. We really appreciate it. And yes, if you could share all those websites with me, I think our students would be really appreciative of those resources for them to be looking at to be able to pay for college. So thank you very much. I'm going to open it up for questions, but let me start out by just asking a couple questions specific to High Point. Number one, even though you're not requiring the SAT or ACTs, will these students have to have a TOEFL if they've been in the United States for 3 or 4 years or even 2 years? What are your TOEFL requirements?
Great question, Lyndon. Thank you. 2 years. If you've been in the United States for 2 years, no TOEFL required.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Minimum's 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you guys, let's open it up to your questions. I know that you've got some questions for Jim that you might want answered, and so I'm going to open it up to you to see what questions that you have. And if you have them, just unmute yourself. Or I guess in Mary's classroom, they may just want to come up to the computer. So
yeah. Javi's going to ask a question first.
Great.
So what are the requirements for the business master scholarship? Or I mean, not a scholarship, but like the
freshman one?
Yeah.
I'm still not sure I understand the question, please.
I think he's asking about that. He's asking about what you mentioned about after the freshman year, they can apply tuition free for the master's degree program in business administration.
Yeah, actually, that master's program, you'll be eligible for it after you finish your undergraduate work. You don't go into it immediately. So after you're done with your undergraduate work, and it's basically a 3.0, maintained a 3.0 grade GPA is what they're going to be requiring for that. There'll be no entrance test to get into it, no GREs or something like that.
So you're saying if the students have a 3.0 from High Point, then will they automatically get this free tuition for business admin, or is there other requirements?
They still have to apply, Linda, to the program, but yes, of course, being a good citizen and all that is part of it. Now they do have to live on campus. They can't live off campus. They have to live on campus.
Okay.
For that program. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
that's how.
Sorry, I wanted to ask you a question that I saw in the scholarships that there were like a business one that it talked about it said that there was like business honor scholarship, something like that.
Yes, there's Honor Scholar. You're absolutely correct. Honor Scholar. There's also a business fellowship. Two separate things. Honor Scholar is overall honors, and business is a student who's specifically focused on majoring in business. And that's a fellowship that you can apply for. Again, it's based upon your GPA, what you come into for. We used to utilize SAT in that again, but we're not doing that this year. But you can qualify for that if you're over a 3.0, and then you get $3,000 stipend per year. So in addition to your merit scholarship, you would also get that added to it.
Do you consider everyone that is doing a business major having that scholarship, or do they have to have more requirements than the other participants for that
No,
scholarship?
no. You're talking about the fellowship. If you're talking about the fellowship, that is for business majors only.
Okay.
Okay. The master's program doesn't matter what degree you're getting, what major you have, as long as you can qualify. But you have to apply for it too.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Do they have any co-op work for elementary education?
We have a great elementary education program. In fact, it's one of the best ones in the East. Our elementary education students are sought out by several areas, and so yes, our elementary education program is very good. We also utilize Legos. There's a Legos portion of it, and our professors travel all over the world teaching others how to utilize Legos in elementary education. Just a sidelight, but yes, our elementary education program is very good. Again, there is an education fellowship as well as the merit scholarships that you could qualify for.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Oh, good. We are getting some good questions.
Oh, absolutely excellent questions. Hi there. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Super.
So I know you mentioned like loans for international students.
Yes.
So if one students have to have like proofs that you're gonna stay here, like a green card or something, to have a loan.
No.
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 Okay.
But your loans have to be paid off prior to, like they would give you a loan for this year, but they'd have to be paid off before the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're
They're
welcome.
different than what domestic student loans are, where they won't have to pay back until the end they graduate.
That's my understanding, Linda. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But what they do is they try and break them up into smaller amounts for the student to help the student make the payments.
Okay.
Hi, this is
Hi.
Mary. I'm not a student.
You're not a student?
No, I'm not.
Oh, gosh.
Your school sounds good. I'd like to go back and do that again. I was wondering about what type of support you all have for international students, both academically in their first year, as far as maybe support with writing, and also support for like the social emotional aspect of the shift from high school to college and being international, if there's any mentor program or something like that.
Absolutely. And Mary, thank you for bringing that up. We have a complete program for that very thing. And we have global education, which is a separate department on our campus that's set up specifically to help work with international students to guide them through the acclimation to college from high school. We have an office of accessibility and research, which is here to help with tutoring, to help with learning, working with the students and their different strengths and weaknesses, and to help them to overcome those issues. So, and the tutoring is all free. There's no charge for it. It's part of the program. And again, that success coach is going to be very important to help the students to discover what their needs are. And they don't just work with academics, they work with the social and emotional part of it. We have a full staff on campus, counseling staff on campus to work with students who may have a concern or an issue that they're dealing with. Our residential life people are trained constantly and watching for symptoms and something that might lead them in that direction to help them with the students. So there's all kinds of support here at High Point. We have a full-time doctor on our staff that's in our clinic, and there's not too many schools that can claim that. So physical health and mental health are very much part of.
And then two follow-up questions. One is, what type of percentages do you have of international students from different cultures or countries? Do you have that information?
Well, the Asian group is the largest, of course, and then it breaks down from there. And then we have our next largest group is from the Middle East,
Okay.
and then Europe, and it breaks down from there.
Okay.
But we have a lot of students, you know, one or two from here or there, and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. And then Kenya had another question, I think, about work opportunities. Are there work opportunities on campus for international students?
Absolutely. In fact, you remember I mentioned about the experiential learning? We require 4 years of experiential learning. And the reason we do that is because we believe it's important for our students to have 2 experiences here at High Point. 1, to get a great education, and 2, hopefully, to get employment or to go on to graduate school, whichever they desire to do. So 4 years of experiential learning, which could be working on campus. In other words, let's say I'm studying biology. I might work in the biology department as part of my job, but also have experience while I'm working there to learn other things about in the lab or whatever it may be. I have international students who actually work in my office and receive experience in business and doing this, because we do a variety of different things with our students. So absolutely, there's all kinds of jobs for students on campus, international students.
Are there any other questions in here?
Jim, another question. So our school is an international baccalaureate school, and so our students are going through the full IB diploma. Do you
Super.
recognize IB like credits in terms of like giving them college credit based on what they receive on the examination? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, yes. And Linda, each department makes that decision. It's not an admissions decision on what score is needed in a particular area for them to receive credit. But absolutely will receive credit for their IB scores, and then that translates into basically filling some of their credits that are required. Now, we've had some students come into High Point who had a number of credits, but we want them to begin as a freshman because there's always so much more for them to learn and do besides just classroom. And so we always have, even though they might have enough credits literally to be a sophomore or to be a second semester freshman, we want them to begin as a freshman so that they have that experience. Now it may, and on the other end, may end up they don't go for a total of 4 years because they have all the credits. But we want to make sure that they have that opportunity to come as a freshman. So yes, to answer your question, the bottom line is, yes, we do recognize that.
You also mentioned something about, you know, it used to be if they're international students, we would say you obviously can't fill out the FAFSA because you're not a U.S. citizen. But you mentioned something along the lines of the need is now being considered more for international students. Can you explain that a little bit more, and how would students know kind of where to go to get answers to that, or to help them their forms to complete? And is it the same for every university at this point?
Every university is a little different. We do not offer need-based scholarships or financial aid for international students, but some of my colleagues do offer that. And what they need to do, Linda, is when they are applying for the university, and again with your support and help, is to ask that question, because it is available. It's my understanding what they do is they don't have the family fill out a FAFSA, but they have their own form that they utilize specifically for international families. And they have them fill that out, and then that helps them determine what their actual needs are.
Okay. Great.
I got one more question here. I think it might be our last one. From your perspective, what makes the application of one international student stand out over some of the others?
You know, there's lots of things that we look at, Mary. We try and take a holistic look at the students. And so obviously when we do that, we're looking at them a little differently than we look at just grades or just, you know, one of the test scores or something like that. So when I'm reading an application, what I look for is really a student who really, first of all, wants to be at High Point University. Second, is a good citizen, is a good person that is going to be able to handle the work here. And then I start looking at grades and things of that nature and tests to make sure that is all compatible for them. But honestly, we look at all of our, whether it's domestic or international, we look at all of our students in the same way. And we try to make a determination based upon all those factors and not just look at one or two things to make that decision. To be honest with you, those students who do ED, early decision, are looked at a little bit more, how should I say, is closer than students who do early action or regular decision. So a lot of our students who really want to be here will do the early decision because they know that gives them a little bit of a bump on the whole system, if you will, if that's the right words to use. We just look at them much more closer, and I'm going to probably be more willing to give a little bit with a student who is going to do early decision, because they're committing to us. They're saying, you know what, we're going to commit to High Point. We believe that High Point is a place that we want to be. We want to be there so much that we're willing to not look at other schools. We're willing to sign an agreement to be there. So we're going to take that in consideration when we're looking at their application. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, thank you.
Jim, a lot of times students focus on the freshman year for scholarships. Can you talk a little bit about, are there additional scholarships or opportunities for students to help with their funding in college after the freshman year? We know the freshman year, the scholarships are renewable, but are there additional things that they can do to help with the costs sophomore, junior, senior year?
You know, what happens, there's a yes and a no answer to that. Yes, there are some opportunities because some of different departments will not give you a scholarship until you've proven yourself in that department. Sciences are notorious for that, doing that. There are some others that do that too. So once a student is at a university, if they are, again, these are things you need to know beforehand. But often they'll give you an initial scholarship to help you get in the door, but then they'll say, you know, that's renewable, but you can get more if you are qualified with your tests and your grades during your freshman year. But again, each school is a little different with that. So you want to be sure, and each department will be different. That some don't do that at all, but some do that and allow you to be able to receive actually more scholarship. Some such as design is another one that's in that. Once you can show that you have the ability and the talent to do design in that they'll sometimes will bump your scholarship. Another one is dance or music is another one that I've seen that happen with. So those are just two off the top of my head I can think of, and again the sciences as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Did I go too fast? I was.
No, you did great. You were great. No, that's wonderful. Are there some other questions out there that you guys have? Can you talk a little bit, the students, if they decide to apply to High Point, they apply, can they do Common App?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. We utilize the Common Application, and they can either go on our website to do it, or they can go to commonapp.org. So either way, and they can get on there and do that. And that's the easiest way to do that. And then, of course, transcripts and essay. And when they write their essay, one of the things that I have suggest to students is write a little bit of a short story. Don't tell me you're a great student. Don't tell me you're a good athlete. Don't tell me you play a musical instrument, because I'll find that out in the questions that are found in the Common App. Tell me a story about an instant maybe in your life, or an individual in your life that may have influence on you or done and helped you with something. Tell me something that might evoke some emotion. And I think that is always helpful in an essay. And of course, we're not looking for pages. We're looking for 3 or 4 paragraphs, which makes it even more difficult sometimes. Because like with me, I could write for 10 pages and still not be done.
Okay. Mary, did you say there was a question?
Yeah, Mary had a question on cost.
The average cost that a High Point student typically pays.
Okay. Alrighty. Now, our total cost, which includes everything but books and health insurance, is right around $57,000 for international students. Alrighty. The average, well, I guess I'll use the word average, merit scholarships right around 17,000. Now that's the average. Some are above that, some are below that. All right. So if you're looking at averages, then you're looking at what is that? Approximately $40,000 would be but that includes your meal plan, includes your housing, includes transportation to and from the airport, includes your tutoring, includes Wi-Fi, printing, laundry. All that is included in that. Plus, as I said, your meal plan, which includes that 5-star restaurant, by the way.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have other questions?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay, Judy?
Yeah, so I believe Mr. Smith, you talk about the scholarships and funding, but can you talk about a little bit about the financial aid?
You bet. Judy, we at High Point, we actually do not give financial aid to international students. We only give merit scholarships. There are other universities that do give financial aid, need-based financial aid. We do not do that here at High Point, but there are some options out there that make that available to you. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and I also have a question. Is there have any study abroad program for international students?
Oh gosh, yes, a huge international study abroad program. And it's tremendous. It's just one of our strengths here at High Point. Absolutely, through the Global Education Department, we have 39 different countries and schools that we work with abroad. You can do a semester, you can do a year, you can do. We actually have what we call Maymester, which is the month of May. We do not have classes on campus. You can take that. The summer programs. Yes, we have a variety of options that way for you, Judy, to be able to get that experience. And it seems almost ironic a little bit to me, but a lot of our international students love doing study abroad, which is great. So yes, it is available for you. Absolutely. And through our Global Education Department. That's a great question. And thank you for asking.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Well, Jim, I want to thank you so much for hosting this virtual scholarship information session and information about High Point. And definitely would appreciate if you would share the resources and the recording with us. And we just, international scholarships and just it's a different ballgame than domestic at many, many times. And so you've been really helpful with giving us some extra resources that our students and our college counseling office can use to help better counsel our students. So thanks for taking the time. We really appreciate it and appreciate you spending time with us.
Thank you so much, Linda. It's absolutely my pleasure. And I will indeed get this information to you, and I'll learn how to send you the recording. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to have to get some help, but I will find out and get that to you for sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you
you.
guys have a great day. Oh, I will. You too. Bye-bye.